Welcome back to Cephas Unscripted. It is that time again, Robin. We've got the Rugby Championship this week, and Rusty Rasmus has surprised us. Not only with the squad that is announced, but on the day the squad gets announced on a Monday. Brother, how you doing? How was your weekend?
Weekend was great. Obviously, our previous podcast we hosted her side of the ruck. That did pretty well. Got some good feedback, some good comments on the YouTube comment section. So we're always happy to have other people join us in collaboration. So thanks again to them for joining us.
Well, they actually reached out
And then
again,
yeah,
by
as
the
far as
way.
the weekend,
They reached out again, by the way. They're
cool.
coming
Yeah,
down to
no,
South
we
Africa,
should
and
definitely.
they'd be down to film some content in person with us then.
Turn you up a bit. Yeah, 100%. We can definitely do something like that. In terms of the weekend, a bit of a boring weekend. Got to watch a couple Curry Cup games. Obviously, Western Province not doing too
We're
well,
not talking about
but
the
we
Western
won't get into
Province.
that.
We're not talking about the Western Province, bro.
But new week, new opportunities, new scenery, new vibe.
Yes.
Springboks are playing. Not only are the Springboks playing, Drickus du Plessis is fighting as well on Sunday morning for all the Sapphirs. So very exciting weekend.
If you're in Melkbos right, on Saturday night, go to your closest Wimpy at 2 o'clock. You'll probably find us there. Crispy stack all day, right, in preparation for the Drinkers fight. Anyway, we actually have to chat about the lineup that got released, right? But my question to you, and this is a very important question, is it in the spirit of rugby to announce your team on a Monday, as some might say? Like,
What would your reasoning be for it not being? And
I'm,
then I will challenge
it's
you.
not it's not me. It might be Matt Williams. I'm just thinking about the thought process that could be going on there. Is it is that good for the game if you announce it on a Friday? Is that breaking the laws again? Is that too much innovation? Is it bad?
Well, if you look at like different nationalities, like teams like Ireland or New Zealand that bring out teams at a later stage, their content creators don't get the time throughout the week to talk shit like
Exactly.
we do because Ratsi does us a favor on a Monday and we get a team. Now we can talk about it. We can talk about combinations. We can talk about how we think they're going to do. It's just wonderful being Safa. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
we
I don't have a
we've
problem
said
with
this
it.
multiple times that Rusty watches the stuff. We sent him a WhatsApp and said, "Listen, Rusty, we're playing a little game of paddle tomorrow. We can't film tomorrow, so would you just do us the favor and announce it early? Like, even if you have to swing it a bit, come Friday, switch the team up a bit. Just give us some opportunity to chat about it. Because if we have to film it on Wednesday, it's going to be too late. So give it to us on Monday. We'll put the video out on Tuesday, and then we'll be all sharp. And he's done it. He's provided us that. So thank you to Dr. Rusty. But anyway, talking about the lineup, before we get into the lineup, if you just like us fans chatting a bit of shit when it comes to rugby, please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys joining us on this journey. One, two,
I'm going to
three.
put the subscribe there.
Okay, I was so confused because you're pointing into blankness for me at the moment. In the 1, 2, 3, Oxter Steamroller and Chair, Malcolm Marks, Volker Low. Do you get better than that?
That is a beefy front row. Like the two props, they're definitely eating cake. They're on that oxen chair diet. You know, Malcolm is a little bit more on the slimmer side. Obviously, a big boy still himself. But damn, that's firepower. Like you do not want to be scrumming against these guys.
No, no, you don't. And just to think, we still got a 140 kg guy coming from the bench as well. And our young prodigy, Jan Hendrik Wessels, as well. It is scary. It is scary, but I am excited to see Malcolm getting that start above Bongi. Obviously, Bongi's been great for us, right? But the form hasn't been there. It just hasn't, right? Call a spade a spade. Marnus van der Merwe has been sensational. Do you reckon the fact that Malcolm gets the nod on this one, he kind of might be first in line, and then we kind of want to shift Bongi out for the likes of the Marnus van der Merwe? Or do you not think we look at the bomb squad because of how it's kind of a tactical thing? I'm looking into it a bit too much there because Bongi always started, but now he's on the bench.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe it's just a different approach Rassi wants to take with the bomb squad. We've already spoken about this in previous episodes. We feel like the bomb squad has been diffused somewhat. Yes, at times it does have a positive impact, but at other times it's more like lackluster, and they're trying to get into the swing of things after replacing the starters. So maybe it's just rewarding Malcolm for you know being consistently great, and then also I find him a lot more skillful than Bongi when it comes to ball in hand. And because we've got this Tony Brown style of play, that could be a factor in why he's starting and getting us on that skillful front foot.
Yeah, yeah, no, I fully agree. And if you look at the physicality of the forwards of Australia and the way that they fronted up against the Lions, which is literally four countries combined in terms of physicality, they stood up, right? So we had to get our big boys out there. I think this is our strongest one. Like on form, everything. This is a strong team. A strong front row. Then you go into the locks. Are we going to moan about Ibn Itabel and Vure? Obviously not. I mean, it's not a lot of times that you look at a lock back and you say, okay, well, we're leaving out Franco Moster, we're leaving out Ruan Orkia and RG Snyman, and still we are very happy. That just tells you the talent that we have in our lock setup. So we're pretty fine.
Yeah, well, we're super gifted with locks in this country. So having the likes of these sort of players um, that you can pick different combinations just based off of the play that the way that you want to play is great. So I mean, having Lewitt and Earben there is just wonderful, and then you've got some firepower on the bench as well that can come and do something different, provide something different to the way that you want to play, and them as individuals as well. They have the ability, each of these locks, to change the game by themselves, if that makes sense. And that just shows how talented our locks are in this country. So, I mean, I have no issue with that lock pairing.
Yeah. Mark van Staden, Peter Steph do tackle, and then Captain Rugby, Captain South Africa, Captain Sia Kulisi in that 8 jersey. What's your, obviously Peter Steph du Toit, reigning, defending world champion, world player of the year. What's your thoughts on our 6 and 8 choices there? You agree with it, or would you have gone a bit different there?
I think Marco needs to be rewarded. We've seen he's played probably the most minutes. I think it was the most minutes out of any South African player in the Springbok jersey over the couple of these startup games. So he needs to
I
be
think it might have
rewarded.
been
He has
Curtly
been putting
Orange
his
though,
hand
but
up.
he's up there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely up there in terms of a forward that's played the most minutes, and he hasn't done much wrong. He's
No.
done all the basics right, done the dirty work. So I don't mind the fact that he's starting there. When it comes to eight, we have a problem at eight. Obviously, Jasper is on the match ban, got a couple injuries. Thought maybe we would see Jean Luc in there. Um, but I don't mind Kulisi in there. We've seen him play for the Sharks at eight. Maybe he brings something different to the Springbok team. We know when these players come from their franchise rugby to Springbok level, they up it 20 notches. So it'll be interesting to see what Kulisi can do at eight. And, I hope he does well there, because at the moment we are struggling with eights with injuries and timeouts and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I fully agree. Like initially, if I had to do a predicted lineup before this one came out, I thought we'd go with Sia Kulisi still at 6, and then John Luke Dupria at 8. Right? Because obviously he didn't get too much game time, but then bringing him back into the setup, but you've still got all the experience around him. That's kind of perfect for the likes of a John Luke. But do I mind seeing Mark van Staden there? No, because as you mentioned, he stepped up. Right when we needed him there, and there was no Sia, he stepped up, and he arguably played better than Sia. Right, as we said, call a spade a spade. But I like the way that Sia approached the game in that 8 jersey for the Sharks. I thought he did a proper job. If you look at the way that he plays, you wouldn't be surprised to see that he can play at 8 as well. It'll just be I'm just curious to see how we working with the subs throughout this game. Who's going to slot? Is Do you reckon Franco Mostert goes into lock or he goes into a Lucy position? Because we're going with a 5-3 split. So Quagga probably comes on at 8 for Sia, and then Marco van Staden maybe a full 80 if we're going to take off the likes of a Lewitt or a Eben.
Let me just grab the team here. Yeah, I mean, you'll probably find, depending on, we know that Lewitt and Eben can go full 80s. We've seen it time and time again. So, um, obviously Franco can slot in there. This is the nice thing about having players that are versatile. We've got them all over the show. So, Franco can go either on the flank or in that lock position. And I think it just comes down to performance. If Rassi feels that Luton and Eben are still fronting up in the 60th, 70th minute, then
Mm,
maybe Franco, will engage there at the flanker position.
yeah. No, and now moving into the back line, just push down on your desk so it doesn't lift up while I say it. Grant Williams and Marnie Lubbock. Dude, that is sexy. That is extremely sexy, right? Marnie getting his flowers, we've said this before, deserves it. He's been playing sensational rugby. I heard they talked in the press conference about it, him adapting to the Rhino ball. I was like, fuck that. Don't say it like he's been shit with the other ball, right? He's just been playing great rugby. And I think the combination of Grant and Marnie, and then you have those centers outside of him, that's just dangerous everywhere with those wings. It is glorious. What are you expecting from those two? Do you think it's the correct decision? You expecting some running rugby, or do you think we go back to Stampkar?
Yeah, I think everyone will expect, especially from Grant, fast ruck time. Um, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking to play attractive rugby, this new Tony Brown style, but also mix in our physicality as we do. Um, when it comes to Marnie, this specific game I think is going to be super crucial. This might be the straw that breaks the camel's back of all the haters that give him so much shit. He
Well,
has
he's
the
not playing
ability to
next
go
week,
up
by the
against,
way.
yeah,
He's,
but this one I feel like is going to be because the way, let me explain it this way, because of the way that Rassi's been sort of rotating through the fly-offs, we want to understand who is going to be our starter when we come up at that Eden Park game. Now, there isn't enough games to rotate through all these fly-offs, especially when there's not one on the bench. Damien's on the bench, so he's not the fly-off. So this is going to be a really big game for Marnie to put his hand up for that Eden Park game. Now we
I think
know
it's already
Pollard
selected.
icing.
I think they're going
You think
Pollard
so?
full 80 against the All Blacks. I just get the feeling. I don't want them to, because I really think to give a youngster confidence is to play him in the big games. But that's just my opinion on it. Anyway, continue.
I think if Marnie has a solid game, this game now against Australia, if he's in the mix for next week as well, we could see him start against New Zealand and we'll have Polly on the bench as backup, just in case Shitty's a fan.
I
But
would like it.
I'm calling it now. I think Marnie, this is the game that he sort of puts his hand up as the informed fly off in the country.
Yeah. Center combination. Now, for for any team, if you had to take out probably one of their best players ever, right, in the likes of Damien Dialende, you would probably shit yourself. But then you look at who the sub is, probably the best second choice inside center in the world. Like a lot of people would probably say Andre Estreisen is a top five inside center for the past 6 years, right? With the way that he played at Harlequins, look at the way that he's played at the Sharks. Even he's taking that 12 jersey. I wouldn't be surprised if he even plays as a Lucy somewhere in the game. But that's a sexy combo. Andre Estreisen, Jesse Krill, not gonna moan about it. Workhorses, big, strong guys, carries hard. I just want to see Andre Estreisen like steaming into people, taking on that Dialinde role and kind of fighting for that 12 jersey, because he doesn't get a lot of opportunities in it. But when he gets it, got to fight for it. Because I think the previous game that he started 12 was against Portugal, where he got a red card. So he's got a point to prove, which is a scary thing. You don't want Andre Estreisen as a guy with a point to prove. What's your thoughts?
Interesting what you said there in the beginning. obviously we've got the 5-3 split on the bench. And now it's sort of making a little bit more sense to me as to why we did that. Well, because Andre Esterhuizen can just slot in at lock. Not lock. He could probably do lock as well. I mean, at flank. Um,
Yeah.
so that is pretty interesting, and I think that's maybe a bit of method behind Rassi's madness. Play
Especially
the
with
first
Kanan
game
on the
again.
bench.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, and you got Damien as well, who's so versatile that can cover any position. So it's interesting, and I actually feel that we might see Esterhuizen,
Yeah, Andre Esterhuizen
slotting in
to
there.
yeah. Maybe we don't go with like a Kanan and Jesse Krill. Maybe we see Moni Lubbock at 10, Damien Willems at 12, Kanan Moody, for instance, at 13. Jesse Krill, you can go off, you can have a rest with Andre Esterhuizen going into the Lucy position. Figure that out.
That could well be.
Mm. Wings, happy.
I
No
like.
Colby, though, monitoring an injury.
Um, Edward van der Merwe, come now. He's just on fire. He's how many tries has he scored now in how many
Five,
games? I think
five and
it's
three. 5 and 3. He
five
could
in
be the
three
first Springbok ever to score 4 tries in his first 4 games.
plus 2 man of the matches.
Yeah. Should have been 3.
Yeah,
He didn't get man of the match against Georgia, and he probably deserved to get
and
it.
yeah, he could have. Um, yeah, I mean, super happy for him. Also, well deserved to get in the team. Would he have if Colby was maybe fully fit? Who knows? Maybe they drop Orense and leave Edwell in there, but Edwell should be there. All these guys give you the same sort of X factor, just in different ways.
Same with the fullback,
But
Fussy as
speed,
well. Same WhatsApp group.
same WhatsApp group.
Imagine
All
Fussy with the
add.
scrum cap on as well. That would be cheating.
Maybe I should ask him. I'll message him afterwards.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Anyway,
What
bench
color should it
five
be?
three split. 5-3 split. Are you surprised that we're playing within the laws of the game on this one? In the spirit of rugby? What's going on?
Yeah, Matt Williams probably got to Rassie a bit.
A win's a win,
I think
right?
Rassie's shaking in his boots.
Yeah, he had him. He had him. It was like tonight. What's it? Matt Williams boop, popped open the champagne, and he was like, "Yeah, I told you guys." And now Russie's shaking his boots, and we're going 5-3. But meanwhile, Russie's playing chess with it because we just said we might do the old switcheroo out there, and we're starting actually with a 9-6 split instead of an 8-7 because Andre Esterhuizen will be playing. He'll wear the 12, but he'll play as a Lucy from the start. Imagine.
Rassie should post the team on Twitter or X and then tag Matt Williams and say, "Are you happy?
Yeah.
Is this fine?"
Yeah, and then imagine while we run out, all of a sudden you see there's 2 7 jerseys on the field. Andre Esterhuizen is not even wearing the 12. Anyway, the bench, Bongi Manambi, Jan Hendrik Wessels, Asenati and Klabakanya. I mean, that's massive. Right, that is fucking huge. Franco Mostert will be interesting. I think Franco Mostert's probably going on into the lock
Lock.
position. Yeah, and then you have Quagga Smith. I really wouldn't be surprised if Friday comes and all of a sudden it's a 6-2 split. Just depending on what Australia does. I think if Australia goes 6-2, we might switch it around and then take off Kanan or take out Kanan and put in Erge Snyman. Because then you can still do that thing where you play Andre Esterhuizen as a Lucy, but you can just kind of replace both locks. Because Jabban Etzebeth rarely plays 80 minutes, doesn't he? Like he always gets taken off, even if it's at like 72 minutes. And then the back three on the bench, I mean, can you moan? Kobus Reinach, Kenan Moody, Damien Willemse, also known as the best player in the world. What's your thoughts on the 5-3 split?
Yeah, I think it's just very interesting that Rassie releases a team on a Monday. It's a 5-3 split. It's sort of away from what we've been getting used to, the 6-2, 7-1s. But maybe there's a little bit of, shithousery. He's busy messing with everyone. Because, like you said, it could come Thursday and all of a sudden it's 6-2. Maybe it even goes 7-1. And it's
Yeah, but
just to
the thing
manipulate
is,
the way
we've had like
Australia.
3 weeks to prep for this, right? So I'm guessing this team
Yeah.
already knew 2 weeks ago who they're going to select for that first test.
Yeah, true. That could also be. Maybe I'm just clutching at straws here, but it's just with Rassi, you just got to think nonstop on your feet. What could be the possibilities? And the minute you think you've got it figured out, he comes with a curveball.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of, the vibe that we got when we played the All Blacks at Twickenham right before the World Cup, where Villy went out and we made it a 7-1. But all of us said that we get the feeling that this is not the team. And then right before the match, we just made a late change to make it 7-1. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case as well, going 5-3. I wouldn't be surprised if it stays like this, but I definitely won't be surprised if it changes. I'm like very on the fence with what I think is going to happen. I do reckon we end up staying with this one, but don't don't hold me to it. There might be a massive curveball in here, and I don't think the curveball will even be 6-2. Like I would like 6-2. I think that suits us best. But imagine come starting if we change it up 7-2, 7-1 all of a sudden, bang.
I Now that I think of it, I think we are going to see the Springbok team play the most attacking rugby we've seen all year. Just based off of the 5-3, the players they've selected, the fact that you've got guys coming off the bench like a Reinach and a Damian Willemse, you've got Marnie and Grant pairing up. I think we're gonna see us moving the ball like we haven't seen before.
Mani's playing the
And
full
up forward,
80. Even Mani and Kobus Reinach giving us a little taste for what we're going to get with the Stormers as well. Makes my pants sit a bit tighter, but is what it is. Anyway, that wraps it up, people. Everyone, thank you for watching. As always, we do appreciate you guys. Please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you next time. Shanana. Bye bye. Ciao.